What's going on? We're talking the Raiders. Victory Sunday. Sounds good, right? It sounds good. Raiders beating the Patriots 21-17. We got over 20 points. 21, baby. And Mad Max sealing the deal at the end of the game after making a boneheaded mistake of roughing the passer against Mac Jones. That was totally... It was a stupid thing he did. He didn't have to rough Mac Jones. It was a roughing the passer penalty. But he made up for it by sealing the game, getting a safety, and getting us a win. So Mad Max, still doing like stupid penalties every game, but he does redeem himself. But we absolutely need to clean all these penalties up. We need to stop doing boneheaded stuff. But listen, guys. It's the Patriots. They suck. What I saw on the field, they're a really bad team. All of the Raiders' mistakes, all of the Raiders not getting in the end zone of all the red zone attempts, it still didn't matter because the Patriots are that bad of a team. But when you go against better teams than the Patriots, those are going to hurt us in the long run, and we're not going to be able to sustain this momentum. But the good thing is we got the victory. And then we got momentum. We're heading into the Bears game, which might not even have Justin Fields. So that's a positive. But like I said, the Raiders seem to play down to lower teams' level. The Patriots are a lower team, and we had them still in the game. This shouldn't have happened at all. We should have gotten red zone scores, touchdowns instead of field goals. But it seems still to plague the Raiders year after year on the red zone play calling. But I'm going to think positive in this game because this was a good win. I know it was an ugly, sloppy win, just like last week's win. But it gets us to 3-3. Is that bad because Josh McDaniels is still our coach and this is not going to help him it's not going to help the Raider Nation for him to get fired? Yes, but I said in my last video, I want to win. We don't go in there to tank the season. We go in there to try to win. We are committed to excellence. So just because this team isn't excellent doesn't mean we don't go out there to try our damnedest to win the game. That is the meaning of football. Just because we want a draft pick, a high class, like a caliber QB, yes, I do want that, but I want to fucking win. And that's exactly what we did. I still don't think Josh McDaniels is not it's not the team's really kind of playing for him. You listen to his speeches at the end. You've heard the Packers speech where he's, the victory speech. You're listening to him in this particular speech saying we need to clean things up that he says all the time. And I say that all the time, but he's the head coach. Come on, man. His inspirational speech are goddamn terrible. He is not, you could just tell this guy's not supposed to be a coach, but I think that the Raider players are playing for themselves, playing for the team, their teammates, and they're winning these games because they want to win the games. They're not winning it just because the coach. I really feel like the players are not really playing for the coach. I mean, Marcus Peters liked the damn video of wanting this guy doing the jump in the pool challenge, whatever, fire Josh McDaniels. A lot of these players don't have Josh McDaniels back, but they have each other's back. And I think that is commending the Raider team, the players, knowing that, hey, this is a fucked up situation, but we're going to go out there. And I think they're playing not only for themselves, but they're playing for the fans. They know Maxx Crosby, Devante Adams, excuse me, they know that the fans are absolutely frustrated. So when watching this game, there's a lot of things that continue to go wrong with the Raiders, but they seem to continue. The defense seems to continue to really step up. They really are doing, the last 2 weeks, they've been doing a really hell of a job because the offense still is just so stale, so bland. The Raiders defense is the one that's keeping them and actually probably won both these games for this Raider organization. Mad Max stepping up once again, being the leader that he is. But not only that, Morik had another pick, man. And this is like the second game where he's had a pick. And he's been getting turnovers, which is fantastic for the growth of this player because this player can be really, really good when we drafted him. And I'm seeing a little bit more progress, a little bit of finally kind of coming up with these takeaways, and the Raiders defense actually coming up with these takeaways. There was one particular play that I always get his name wrong, so I'm just going to say 41. I know it's Spillane. I always get it wrong. I'm sorry. I'll clean it up next video. I'll actually remember his name. I just don't like to butcher names, but I know numbers. 41. He had 2 picks last game. This game, he almost had one. It went through his hands. Like, it was right there. So he could have had another pick, which is good to see that he is at least, he's being involved in potential takeaways. So the Raiders defense is really kind of stepping it up a little bit, but you do get the sense of feeling that this is the Patriots offense who had Ezekiel Elliott, which I don't think he's top form at all. There's a reason why he's in New England for 1 year, and he scored a touchdown. He ran on us. There is still elements in this defense that, man, they're giving up a lot of big plays. They're really giving up a lot of what Raiders usually tend to do, and not just kind of letting the offense stick around, letting the team stick around. But that doesn't help when your offense is playing so stale, not driving the ball. And Jimmy Garoppolo, before he went out, threw a pick. He was getting pressured a lot. The offensive line wasn't really holding on at all. Jimmy goes down. He's clearly injured. He's wincing. He finishes his drive, and then he goes back and he's sent to the hospital for something wrong with his back. We don't know yet what the clear details are. Then you got backup, not O'Connell, but you have Hoyer. Hoyer comes in. He throws this beautiful bomb, though, to Trey Tucker, which you're going to have to start using Trey Tucker, man. This guy has speed. If we're not going to use Hunter Renfrow, which obviously we're not going to, but Trey Tucker is a very promising wide receiver, man. If Raiders are known for speed going deep, Hoyer actually threw it deep because Jimmy Garoppolo cannot throw deep, and that is an absolute problem. And we could tell with the run game is still atrocious. But with Hoyer coming in, throwing that bomb to Trey Tucker, it was a beautiful pass. But throughout the game, Hoyer, if you think Hoyer is going to be the savior, he is not. There is some elements. I mean, it's good that Hoyer is a vet. He's seasoned. I don't think he gives us the best chance to win, but we've seen O'Connell play against the Chargers. I feel like you got to give that kid another shot. There were some elements that I liked about O'Connell, especially the second half of the Chargers game. So I think the best thing to do if Jimmy is gone for a while is to elevate O'Connell and have him play. We got to see what this kid's going to do. We got to see if he could bounce back. We got to see if he does give us the best chance to win, because no disrespect to Hoyer, but what Josh McDaniels is going to do to this guy is he's definitely going to clock management this guy. The plays are going to be absolutely now more predictable. I mean, absolutely more predictable. And we can predict what Josh McDaniels is going to do on this offense. That's why the offense is so stale, so vanilla, so many run plays that are not going to go anywhere. Fucking running the ball to end the time towards the end of the fourth quarter. They end up passing it the first down, and it's a boneheaded move, man. If we're going to finally run the ball there, so at least get the clock going. Hoyer's just, he might squeak in. He might get us a win against the Bears, but going forward, if Jimmy is still down, and I think he's going to be down for a very, very long time, it's not looking good. And that is the fault of Josh McDaniels. That is the fault of Ziegler bringing in Jimmy Garoppolo, knowing his history of injuries. How many Raider fans in the start of the season or prior to the start of the season has said, yeah, we'll see what Jimmy could do, but we'll see when he gets injured. Because we all know, and San Francisco fans know, this dude is made out of glass. This guy is not going to last the whole season. And we kind of hope that Jimmy would at least last towards the back end of the season, maybe in December or at least November. It's not been the case. This guy's been injured. There is a reason why we thought this was a boneheaded move by Josh McDaniels bringing in Jimmy G. Like it's always exciting to get a new quarterback, but this was a boneheaded move by Josh McDaniels and Ziegler. Man, it's just not a good move to bring in Jimmy G that the Niners didn't even want. So it's it's frustrating. It's frustrating. It's sad to see that, I don't wish anything bad on Jimmy G, even though he irritates the shit out of me. But now we got to move on to Hoyer or O'Connell. And I think this is where, if we have the momentum winning back-to-back games, we got to root for these guys, man. We got to hope that these guys do something. Even though I'm saying that I don't think Hoyer gives us the best option of winning, you got to still root for him. And hopefully he does do a lot of things that maybe are outside of our mindset, that he's going to throw it down the field to Trey Tucker. He's going to throw it to Devante Adams. Is Jakobi Meyers going to have that same rhythm with like he does with Jimmy? Because Jimmy and Jakobi had a connection there. So is that going to be the same for Hoyer and Jakobi? I just don't want us to they're going to absolutely stack the box even more, because they're not going to take Hoyer serious at all. Just like us Raider fans are not going to say like, I don't know, Hoyer's the guy. I don't want them to always stack the ball and actually go after Jacobs now. Jacobs is the ground game is absolutely going to be nothing now, and I don't want Josh McDaniels to be so predictable that he's going to continue just to be safe and run. This Raiders and Bears game could be an absolute snooze fest. It could be an absolute train wreck, seeing what the Raiders do. It could be the most frustrating game that we've ever watched, but then it could also give us a surprise. Hoyer could actually maybe do something, or if they start O'Connell, maybe O'Connell has a better game against the Bears team that is really bad as well. Maybe we do something. I don't know. But as a Raider fan and as us Raiders finally kind of getting a taste of a little back-to-back win, momentum, knowing that we hate Josh McDaniels, but we love the players, I think we just got to stand by our guys and hope that they come out and really show us something that, hey, yeah, Jimmy's down, but that doesn't mean that we're going to try to, that this season's over. We're going to fight our hardest. I just want my guys to fight, and I want them to play clean football, and that's the problem, is the clean football. The penalties is really, really killing us. The penalties, the missed opportunities, it's still driving me absolutely nuts that we can't get anything. The red zone is a major problem. The red zones, we should have beat the Patriots at least another score and maybe a field goal. We should have just beat them with ease, but the Raiders make it hard for themselves. Yes, Josh McDaniels has addressed that, said, let's make it easier for ourselves and not give me a damn heart attack. I agree. Stop giving me it. This is the one time I agree with Josh McDaniels. Stop giving us Raider fans a heart attack and clean up your game. Raider players, clean up your game and do what you need to do. But that's also on Josh McDaniels. These play calls are horrible. The play calls are horrible, guys. And it's just no uniqueness. You got to be more unique. You got to be more smarter. You got to do things that, these new, not new coaches, but these coaches that are, really doing something out there with 5-1 teams, with actually like Cleveland today, man, winning against the 49ers, actually doing something, making noise, it's frustrating, but it's a Raider win. I'll take it. We're 3-3. We're in competitive. We're right there in the division. We just know that this Raider team doesn't look like a team that could fight against, the Kansas City Chiefs. Even though the Kansas City Chiefs have been bad, doesn't mean that the Raiders could still beat them. Even in Kansas City's worst days, this Raider team could really get knocked around. But I'm still hoping that maybe this momentum, maybe a spark happens where this Raider team absolutely does still believe that, hey, maybe we can make some noise. If we're not going to make it to the big time, the Super Bowl, let's surprise people and let's end their fucking dream. Like John Gruden said, let's end their dream. Let's give them nightmares. That's what I'm looking forward to. That's what I'm hoping that this Raider, we're already 3 wins in. I'm glad that we're not 2 or 1 win in. So you got to think positive. We're not the Denver Broncos. We're absolutely not the Denver Broncos. Coaching-wise and all that stuff, we're kind of in the same boat. But there is talent on this team. And I feel for Devante Adams. You see his frustration. He did not have a baller game whatsoever. I think that has to do with a lot of him being injured too. He went into the tent taking a hard-ass shot. And that was a scary hit. It was a clean hit. I'm going to admit, that was a clean hit. But damn, did he get hit. So I know Devante Adams is kind of frustrated these last 2 back-to-back games, and he's not really getting the ball. But you can't fault Jakobi Meyers of actually stepping up as the Raider player. But there's something in Trey Tucker. They might have something there that, Ruggs was the guy that was going over the top. Trey Tucker might be that new guy. We don't know yet. We have to see what that presents, or see if they give him more snaps and more playing time and more to him going down in the future. The one key element I'll have to say after watching this game is Michael Mayer, man. Michael Mayer, Austin Hooper, you need to utilize your tight ends, not only in the run game, you really need to use them in the passing game, especially now that you have either Hoyer or O'Connell. But I'm not talking about like 5-yard dunks, you know. Give them some usage, man. Give them some of that Gronk usage. Get them. Austin Hooper is a really good tight end, and Michael Mayer is showing so much flash. He's getting better and better each game. I want to see this kid really kick ass going forward. This guy could be an Antonio Gates to us, or at least my boy Zach Miller. Zach Miller was such a fantastic tight end in those years of the Raiders when they were bad. So I'm hoping Michael could really kick ass up in this next game. The Raiders must utilize the tight ends this next game. So we'll see. It was a good win. The defense did good. The offense still very sluggish. We don't have Jimmy G. We don't know how long he's going to be out. This might be a long run kind of thing. So we'll see. As right now, as all of the negativity that I had in my last video saying this team is really, really bad, and we are still pretty bad when it comes to the offensive side, and there is some blown assignments on the defense still, I still think that, hey, man, Jimmy's gone. Now we're really going to kind of see how this team fights for wins and how they lift themselves up, if there are camaraderie there to win for the Raider Nation and themselves. We're going to see they're being tested right now. They're going to be tested. We're going to see what they do, how they could overcome a lot of this shit. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. For now, though, I'm rooting for either Hoyer or O'Connell. Maybe they can make things very interesting. I really don't think we're going to make it to the Super Bowl this year, but I just want them to fight, and I just want Raider Nation, whoever's attending these games and watching the Raiders play, unlike me, who has seen the Raiders like fucking 6 or 7 times and only seen them win once. I'm hoping that the people who attend the games see the Raiders win, because that's such a good feeling. I don't want anybody to have that bad feeling of the Raiders being beat, especially by a touchdown or a field goal. So let's see what the Raiders could do for the fans. Thank you guys for listening. If you haven't already, subscribe to that channel. Like the video if you like it, and comment below. We will talk more. I'm dying. Raider football. I'll see you guys later.